I was out on a walk the other day and I came across a really powerful realization about the concept of self talk. To really convey the gravity and profoundness of this realization, I feel it's important to give you a little bit of background and context. Negative self talk has been something of an issue for me throughout my entire life. It's been pervasive, butting its way into my thought processes whenever I go to try something new, if I make a mistake, or if something just doesn't go my way. You're not good enough. You never will be good enough. You suck at this. I swear my negative self-talk would be an amazing litigator for its ability to take objective facts and present them through the harshest lens possible. It takes such enjoyment out of presenting Exhibit A into evidence. As I've gotten older, I've gotten better at mitigating the impact of my negative self-talk. It certainly hasn't gone away, but it doesn't have the sway over me that it once did. Outside of the occasional instance where I'm feeling particularly down, it's generally a rut I can get myself out of. But it costs energy to do that. I have to reason with it, grapple with it, try to ignore it, just deal with it in some type of way, and that can be really taxing for me. To be honest, I'd really rather spend that energy in other ways. I spent a lot of time playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I swear it'd be a lot easier for me to win in those final last hit situations if I wasn't beating myself up for every mistake that I made. It can be all the more stressful if I'm streaming or if there's anyone watching. So how do I address the menace that is my negative self-talk? That was the core question I had when I went on this walk the other day. And my first line of thinking was to come up with positive self-talk, some ideas, statements that I can use to kind of reframe my thinking and try to take some of the edge away from my negative self-talk. That's just your negative self-talk talking. I should definitely not leave that in. That's just your negative self-talk. Ultimately, it just doesn't want you to get hurt. It's only trying to help. And while I do try to implement things like that, part of me has always harbored a lack of faith in how much that would actually help. I think we've all seen motivational tactics and super rah-rah, cheery things that can net you a short-term burst of positive feeling or inspiration, but I've always wanted something that would last. I never felt that that would be more of a permanent lasting fix for me. Part of me has always kind of looked down on the notion of positive self-talk. If you don't have absolute faith in it, then aren't those just empty words? It's kind of the reasoning I would go through, and for lack of a better phrasing, I generally just thought that negative self-talk was more powerful than positive self-talk. But then I came to this realization that really clicked on the light bulb for me. It's not the negative self-talk that's powerful. It's the self-talk itself. Allow me to explain. I came to this epiphany of sorts using my own past experience as the root source for my logic. I thought back on all the times negative self-talk did things like stop me from believing in myself or standing up for myself. The times I didn't ask the girl out. When I think about all of these things, the power of self-talk has made itself evident and apparent throughout my entire life. So why doubt that it can't work the other way? What if I removed the designation of negative self-talk and positive self-talk and just looked at it as self-talk? In this context, I can then define self-talk as the internal thought processes that can affect my thoughts, feelings, actions, and beliefs. In that, self-talk is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I tell myself that I'm going to suck at something, more often than not, I'm going to suck at it. But if I tell myself that I can do this, what do I need to do to actually be able to achieve this, then my odds of actually finding success can only go up from there. Is it a guarantee that I'll win? No. But I have to think that my odds can only go up if I focus more on the present moment and what my intentions are rather than the possible results, be them positive or negative. I think it's going to be a lot of work to develop this skill, but I think that work is going to be really important. I don't know what I'd be capable of if I had entirely eliminated negative self-talk, but it'd be really cool to find out. I don't know if I have it all figured out. I'm not sure if this is going to be the best path forward, but I do think I'm on to something, and that's the idea. So what I plan to do is commit to this idea of worrying less about the results and using my self-talk as much as possible to just focus on the present moment and ask myself what I need to do to achieve whatever it is I'm working on. I want to try to do this for 30 days and then I'll make another video to kind of follow up and give an update on it. But let me know what you think. Have you tried to do something like this before? I'd be really curious to know. I'm just getting started making these videos. These are just my thoughts about life. If you do like the video, a like would be amazing. Feel free to subscribe as well. I'd love to hear some feedback as well about what you think on this topic. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video and keep thinking about life, I guess.